What's up, Comic Book Nation? The very first teaser trailer for Star Wars The Last Jedi was just released, and in true Star Wars fashion, it's packed with a ton of hidden secrets. Let's take a look at what you might have missed as we break down this trailer shot by shot. Immediately, we see Rey having trouble breathing. She's on Ahch-To, on the same island where she found Luke, so this is likely part of her Jedi training. Hey, Lucasfilm made this movie. Here, you get a wider shot of the island, similar to what was seen in The Force Awakens. This again proves the vast isolation that Luke has retreated to. Luke can be heard saying, "Just breathe," which is another sign that Rey is undergoing some serious training. As Luke says, "Reach out," there's an awesome shot of Rey's hand with rocks floating up from the earth. No, this isn't a Batman v Superman Easter egg. This is proof that Rey is getting a handle on how to use the Force. If you recall, she harnessed the power in The Force Awakens, but she had no idea how to control it. We can expect a much more powerful and dangerous Rey in The Last Jedi. As the screen goes dark, Luke asks, "What do you see?" This shot is undoubtedly General Leia looking over a map in the Resistance headquarters. They've already found Luke, so she's probably preparing for some sort of battle against the First Order. There is more underneath the surface of this scene, however. If you listen closely, you can hear the whisper of Leia in A New Hope, saying, "Light." This shattered mask belongs to Kylo Ren, who was last seen escaping the Starkiller base at the end of The Force Awakens. There's a big callback in this scene as well, as you can faintly hear Obi-Wan Kenobi from the original trilogy saying, "Darkness." Rey then says darkness as a second reply to Luke's earlier question. So as she trains, Rey is feeling and exploring both sides of the Force. Here's what looks like some old Jedi texts on a hidden shelf. Luke has explored much of the history of the Jedi, and the journey has brought him here. It does look a little odd, but you can't exactly keep your Jedi scrolls on an IKEA shelf. As the camera zooms in, Yoda's voice can be heard very faintly, and he says, in reference to the Force. Here we see a close-up of one of those texts, with the classic Jedi symbol printed on the front. You see a gloved hand touching the cover as Rey hints that there's a balance in the Force. As she says that, you can see the camera pan across the hill on the island, where you can see Rey and Luke working through some lightsaber training. These speeders flying across the salt fields of Crate are new to the Star Wars universe, as they aren't seen anywhere in the current canon. If you look into the distance, you can see they're going to face off against an army of AT-ATs. These could also be the guerrilla walkers people have been talking about, rumored to be called AT-4Xs. This is shaping up to be a big battle for the Resistance, as the First Order has obviously brought a ton of firepower to Crate. The mining planet is said to have provided a lot of resources to the rebellion in the original trilogy. This is the only shot of Finn in this trailer, and he's still unconscious. When he was last seen in The Force Awakens, Finn had been knocked out and couldn't wake up. He was taken back to the base, and he was to be cared for when Rey went to find Luke. It looks like the Resistance is under attack as Poe and BB-8 run through the halls. There are sparks flying, people fleeing, and a look of desperation on Poe's face. He's running to his X-Wing in the hangar, but the ships are torn apart as he gets close. Things are looking grim for the pilot. This could be the same attack featured earlier where the ships are approaching the walkers. If Crate is truly where the Resistance is located, these scenes definitely add up. It wouldn't be a Star Wars trailer without the Millennium Falcon, and the iconic ship is engaged in a battle with a couple of TIE fighters. Rey was the last one seen flying the ship as she headed to Ahch-To to find Luke, accompanied by R2-D2 and Chewbacca. The next two shots display the opposite sides of the Force, as Rey and Kylo Ren are both seen with their lightsabers. As Luke can be heard saying, "I only know one truth," you see a hooded figure kneeling next to R2, staring at a burning building. This is the opposite view of Luke as he appeared in Rey's vision in The Force Awakens. This is where Luke witnesses the fall of his apprentice, Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren. A group of troopers walk into a fiery blaze, and it seems like Captain Phasma is the one leading the charge here. This could be the same fire Luke is staring at in the previous scene, but the First Order tend to burn an awful lot to the ground. The shot is immediately followed by a battle going on in the stars as both X-Wings and TIE fighters take shots at each other. Luke can be heard one more time finishing his earlier thought. He began a few scenes prior where he said, "I only know one truth," and he completes the thought by saying, "It's time for the Jedi to end." As he finished those words, he is standing in a small doorway on Ahch-To. His voice is ominous, and it's clear he has a plan in motion. This trailer marks the beginning of the hype train towards December, and we cannot wait for The Last Jedi to hit theaters. For Comicbook.com, I'm Charlie Ridgely, and we'll see you next time.